May 10th, 2006. President Bush is visiting Georgia, the shining jewel of Eastern Europe, on a diplomatic mission. He plans to hold a rally with Georgian President Saakashvili to praise Georgia's moves towards democracy. But there's a little someone who's planning just a tidbit of trolling. Vladimir Arutyunian. A 27-year-old, politically minded young man, very interested in chemistry and very upset with President Bush. This little Heisenberg has some super neato materials on hand. A stockpile of industrial chemicals, several drawers full of mercury thermometers, and, oddly enough, explosives. All in his mommy's basement. I'm sure we can all see where this is going, but why would Arutyunian bridge the gap from Georgian Nile Red to would-be assassin? Well, after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Georgia was basically a Rust server being dominated by a clan of Soviet-era leaders, whose poor policies, corruption, and rigging of elections only just slightly annoyed the people of Georgia. Backed by the emotional support of the US, the people of Georgia staged a bloodless revolution, removing the corrupt Soviet government and installing a new government. Arutyunian saw this new government as a puppet government controlled by the US and was explosively angry about it. And normally, you'd figure a guy with a chemical lab and a passion for being a devious little creature would make a bomb. Because if you're not having fun assassinating political officials, why do it at all? But I guess the DIY spirit just wasn't with Arutyunian when he was cooking up this plan, because instead, he somehow obtained a grenade, a Russian RGD-5 to be specific, and decided to use that in his plan instead. But Arutyunian is worried. He knows the presidents will be protected. By bodyguards, yes, but also by bulletproof glass. He can't get too close, and he can't just throw the grenade kinda close to the presidents and injure them, because they would likely be protected by the bulletproof glass. But not to worry, Arutyunian has a plan. Simply throw the grenade over the bulletproof glass so the shrapnel hits both presidents, killing them. Very confident in his throwing skills and very happy with his foolproof plan, Arutyunian goes to sleep with a smile. He's got a big day ahead of him. It's the day of the rally. A beautiful morning. Arutyunian runs down the stairs like an excited kid on Christmas, slicking back his hair, putting on his black leather jacket and cool aviator sunglasses. He was ready. Hiding the grenade in a red handkerchief, Arutyunian slips out the door and undoubtedly skips with glee towards the rally being held at Freedom Square. Arriving as the crowd began to amass, Arutyunian bided his time. Both presidents walk on stage, and then it begins. The second Bush opens his mouth, Arutyunian pulls out the grenade, still wrapped in the red handkerchief. He pulls out the pin and lobs it at the podium. But this dude is no Rashala. Arutyunian, giving the most sad, underhanded throw ever, lands the grenade 61 feet from the podium, not only missing his mark entirely, but also clobbering a girl as the grenade comes to rest. Now, the only people in danger are innocent members of the crowd. Seconds ticked past. The speech continued. And the grenade, surprisingly, didn't detonate. Still wrapped in the red handkerchief, the apparent mighty force of cloth was enough to hold the striking lever down, making the grenade unable to detonate. A Georgian policeman noticed the grenade, removed it, and began looking for the thrower. But Arutyunian was gone with the wind. When Bush and Saakashvili learned of the assassination attempt, they were not amused. At the request of the Georgian government, Bush called up the boys at the FBI, and the hunt began. FBI agents from Budapest, Hungary, and Washington, D.C. rush to Tbilisi. They're tearing everything up, looking for just a crumb of evidence. All the authorities are able to find is the grenade still wrapped in the handkerchief, and on the handkerchief, just a smidge of DNA. Suffice to say, not a good start. So instead, the FBI begins their stalking arc, using photographs to identify random people from the crowd. One stalking victim of the FBI, a Georgian woman, said she had seen a very suspicious man with a heavy coat holding a red handkerchief. And a sketch artist drew up a composite.
Wow.
True art. A good start for sure, but for a proper manhunt, they needed a photograph. Enter stage left, random professor from Idaho. The FBI somehow, through a news photo, was able to identify this professor and track him down to squeeze photographs out of him. After sufficient squeezing, he coughed up this photo. Our favorite grenade-throwing goober, Arutyunian, was identified. July 18th. With a picture of this cutie, the Georgian government put out an $80,000 reward for information leading to his arrest. Not 2 days later, someone snitches. Georgian police approach the home of Arutyunian's mom. Arutyunian is inside, no doubt, sulking over his failure to kill Bush as police burst through the door. Realizing he was cornered, Arutyunian grabs a gun and begins to open fire, killing a policeman and fleeing into the woods. But he was not unscathed. Wounded in the leg and with nowhere to run, Arutyunian is quickly captured and taken to the hospital in police custody. In the hospital, on Georgian state news, Arutyunian explained his genius plot. Quote, I threw the grenade, not directly at the bulletproof glass, but towards the heads so the shrapnel would fly behind the bulletproof glass. In addition, Arutyunian also proclaimed he's not sorry, and given the chance, would try to kill Bush again. The trial comes quickly, and Arutyunian decides to plead not guilty, also refusing to cooperate in his trial to any degree. Funny enough, he fucking stitched his lips together. That's what this is on screen right now. He fucking stitched his lips together to avoid participating in trial. This dude is a fucking menace. His lawyer, also apparently having a galaxy-sized brain, claimed that since there were no fingerprints on the grenade, quote, everything is far from proved. The prosecution politely pointed out that the handkerchief the grenade was wrapped in had Arutyunian's DNA on it. Very surprisingly, Arutyunian was found guilty and is currently serving life imprisonment with no chance of parole. Arutyunian's only potential avenue for freedom under Georgian law is by presidential pardon, which, considering he's already tried to kill 2 presidents, I don't think he'll be getting anytime soon. And so ends the story of the time someone tried to assassinate George Bush with a grenade. Good try though, bud. You'll get him next time.
Shame on you.